Mitchell Taylor, thanks for joining me this evening. We're jumping right into it. You guys just did a flip recently,
Yes,
right?
we did. Yes, we
Was
did.
it profitable?
It was profitable. Yeah, we made about $9,000 on our latest flip.
And it was a townhouse flip, and it took you how long from start date to essentially list date? So starting the renovations to list date, how long did it take you guys?
It was 29 days.
29 days. So you guys made $9,000 in 29 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
In a market that people say is impossible, I'm staying away, I'm running for the hills, it's not worth it, and you guys literally made $9,000 in a market. When you guys purchased, we were in a declining, like a contracting market. And for anybody watching, what that means is like prices are getting progressively worse. So the after repair value that we would have supplied to both of you when you first got into the project, I mean, is harder to achieve. We have this target, and the market's getting worse and worse and worse. So that target price is dropping, and you guys still walked away with $9,000 in 29 days.
Pretty incredible. Yeah, we were happy with that.
That's wild. We're going to dissect the numbers. I mean, that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about how you guys made that possible. And anybody else that's interested in getting into flips in a challenging market, I hope you watch this. I hope you rewind it, watch it again, and then take that VHS out, put it back and rewind it again and play it over again. Because I mean, there's so much valuable information we're going to get from you guys. So when was this? Give everybody the dates. What was possession date, and then what was list date? What was possession date for you guys and list date?
Yeah, so possession day was September 22nd, and then I believe it was listed October 20th.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Awesome.
and then the new owners, they took possession just on the 22nd last week.
Amazing. And this might actually be Edmonton's fastest townhouse flip as well. I mean, in the time span that you guys got it done, I know that we had a couple people out there like, I think we may have heard it gone faster. But like, I don't see any proof. I mean, we actually have proof of how fast you guys did that townhouse, and it could very well be Edmonton's fastest townhouse flip.
It could be, yeah.
So
the renovation, it was like 26 days it took us, around 26 days, 25 days. So
yeah. So the big question that everybody's asking is, should I be waiting for fix and flips or should I jump into them? What was going through your mind? I mean, you probably saw, like, you purchased the property, you saw interest rates rising, and you know that there's less buyer activity every single time we see that, let alone when it gets colder out. And the deeper into winter, the quieter it gets. I mean, you had everything working against you. What was your guys' mindset like?
Going into it, I mean, you sent us the deal. We looked through the numbers. It was a good deal for what we could get it for. And we had, a comfortable spread going into it. And I was pretty comfortable with our renovation cost. And I mean, we accepted the offer purchasing it before actually viewing it with you. But I mean, like, you just have to be diligent, with your numbers.
We kind of expected for it to go for a lower price. Like, we just planned for that.
Right. Yeah. And so what was the initial target sale price and what was the actual sale price?
We were expecting to sell between 205 and 210 was the initial ARV. And I mean, we assumed that, going down, the market going down. So we were prepared for that. Ended up selling for $194,000, but still profitable in the end.
Amazing. And I mean, we actually had an offer early on that ended up falling through, and that was at a much better price too. What was that price at?
That was, I believe it was $203,000. And that was, we were on the market for like 4 or 5 days when that came through, and we accepted it, but their financing ended up falling through.
So, I mean, if the initial offer would have went through, we were very close to it. Even though the market was declining, I mean, we were like razor close to what that ARV was going to be. But then because of the timeline, things that were happening, a lot of buyers were sitting on the bench and were taking action as much as we were hoping. And until we finally found this one buyer, and they're obviously ecstatic about the property and everything as well. And you guys did a tremendous job. If you guys get a chance, and maybe what we'll do is we'll actually We can probably pull it up, but let's go through the numbers. Can you guys break down the numbers for us? What did you guys pay for? I mean, what was your initial purchase price? What was the renovation cost, borrowing costs, holding costs? Give me your numbers. I'm going to pull up the property here, okay?
All right. Purchase price. We bought the property for 131,500. End up selling for 194. Our renovation was right around $31,000. Closing cost about $15,000, and which gave us profit about nine grand. So
yeah, pretty awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the property right now, so everybody can see what we're talking about. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're gonna share the screen so everybody can see what the before looked like, and then also what the after looked like as well. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull it up right now. Give me one sec here. All right, we're gonna have to use Chrome. All right, we're using Google Chrome. Give me a sec here. When it comes to doing this again, what are some tips that you give everybody else that's watching right now? If you were to redo that flip, so it was possession date, what would you have done different?
What would we have done different?
Like there wasn't really much. Like we do get this question a lot, but there wasn't much. I guess like we had a issue with the plumber in the end. But like we had like a feeling about it that he wasn't going to be good. So I wish we would have just parted ways in the beginning with him. Because that ended up costing us
time and money. Yeah. I mean, just finding, quality sub trades and paying them what they're worth. I mean, paying them more money now is just going to save you money in the long run. So
there's an ongoing issue with trades right now. And I'll say that in front of everybody. There is an ongoing issue with trades. And what we're noticing is that there's a lot more people getting out of the trades than there are getting into it. And I think it comes down to what a lot of tradesmen are making right now, income-wise. A lot of them aren't necessarily going into the trades position because the earning potential isn't as great as what some other positions could be. And so we're noticing a lot of people exit, but not as many people enter. So we're noticing a little bit of a deficit based on volume of work that's required. And because there's a large volume of work that's been required, I mean, there's bigger cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa, Montreal, and they actually have a major issue with finding that trades don't show up on time. They're very inconsistent. There's a lot of, I mean, it's really hard to find a good tradesman. And when you find them, you want to hold on to them for dear life. Treat them good, send them Christmas presents, show up at their birthday, do whatever you can to hold on to them because good trades is hard to come by. What are some signs that you guys have learned in your experience of when to kind of cut ties, when to cut the umbilical cord when it comes to working with someone in a trade position?
When you're communicating with them, I mean, our plumber, he's been a little bit wishy-washy with some of the questions I was asking him, and just he didn't seem confident in what I was wanting as a product.
Right.
Just the knowledgeable side, asking questions, see if they know what they do.
Right.
That's the biggest part.
Gotcha. And so, I mean, you do change your team over time, right? Like you don't just stick with the same team. There are times where you have to change who you're working with. And it's just trying to get those signs early on and then be able to find that new individual. Now, what's a tip you give everybody else? Anybody else that's looking at doing a fix and flip right now, what would you recommend to them? If they're considering getting started?
Getting organized. Plan as much as you can ahead of time. Once you get that accepted offer, what we did, we planned our entire flip out. I mean, we went a little longer than we wanted to, but I mean, because of some issues that came up, but plan. Get as many things, ordered and scheduled before even starting your project.
Yeah. Awesome. So you can hit the ground running. And I mean, you guys are up for competition, right? Like you're going to call out anybody else out there, try and do a better flip than us. That's a townhouse in that period of time. And we'd love to hear it. If you guys can do a faster flip and it turns out great, we'd like to hear it. I mean, either way you're getting into it and it's a success. And if you ever want to try and beat these guys, I know they're both, Mitchell and Taylor are both very competitive. They'll probably try and beat your time as well. So are you guys going to try and beat your record?
When something comes up, another townhouse, definitely. Yeah.
Townhouses are great for winter as well, just so everybody knows, because you don't have to worry about the exterior as much, right? The exterior is all based on the condo board, and it's their responsibility. Roof, siding, windows, doors, fencing. That's not your responsibility. So townhouse flips during the winter are literally perfect because you're able to stay nice and warm. It's all within your four walls and you're taken care of. And like Mitchell said, one of the biggest tips he will give you guys is pre-plan, pre-order. There are delays when it comes to certain building materials. Understand what those are. Now let's go ahead and see what this property looks like. So this property was purchased, as you guys can see, for $131,500. Let's go ahead and take a look at pictures so you guys have an understanding of what the before looked like. So exterior, he's not changing the exterior. Here's not getting his paintbrush out. Inside was a little, little rank. So I mean, the kitchen and everything, we had the famous oak cabinets.
Yeah.
Inside, I mean, it was definitely a little stinky. The flooring obviously, wasn't existent in some of the rooms. Lots of interesting stuff. Anyways, needed a full cosmetic redo. So that is the before, just so everybody has a good idea. And let's go ahead and take a look at the after. And one of the interesting things that we did too is we never replaced the furnace in this case. And what did you guys do to help handle any objections that we had as it relates to the furnace?
Well, we offered a credit. There was an issue with the furnace that we found when we were looking into it, but we offered cash credit to the buyers.
So any sellers that are hesitant and they're worried about, oh, I don't have time to replace this, that, or this.
Yeah.
Literally, you can offer a credit to a buyer and then they can purchase what they want, right? You'll have less objections. You're going to have more movement in what seems to be a very stale market. Now, this is the after. It speaks for itself. You guys went with awesome. I mean, Taylor, I think it was you that probably came up with this color palette because it actually looks really good. Nothing against you, Mitchell, but I know that what male designers, majority of male designers, I know what it looks like. Taylor, what was your hand? Was it heavy in design? What was kind of your focus throughout this project?
Yeah, I designed a lot of it, but he did help a lot too.
Yeah, you were ordering lots of materials, getting lots of that dealt with. Light fixtures, shower fixtures, faucets, sinks, all that good stuff.
Amazing. I mean, it looks fantastic. I would live here in a heartbeat. I like that you guys went with a lot of like the neutral tones, a lot of trend, a lot of things that are in right now. And I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic, right? So new flooring, new paint, literally everything on the inside has been updated, and anybody would be proud to call this home. So you have the bedrooms, carpet. You guys went with the nice gold fixtures in the 4-piece upstairs. Just again, completely updated and very attractive. I mean, when you're shopping a property like this online as a prospective buyer, you can't stop but want to go look at the property, right? Like there's definitely a draw for you wanting to come in and take a look at this property. And that's what it comes down to for getting a property sold. So you guys did an absolute fantastic job. I mean, even through the barn door in, I'm not sure if you guys saw that. Barn door in. So I mean, doing these little things that can just catch attention. And I mean, I always recommend doing things that stand out, because when you're shopping properties, if you've ever shopped more than like say 5 or 6 properties at a time, they all start to mesh together and seem the same. But if you're having things like feature walls, barn doors, really pops and really wow moments within your tour of the home and what you're creating for prospective buyers, that's what's going to stand out in people's minds. And that's exactly what you guys did. So very, very cool. I love to see what you guys are doing. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to be doing in the future. Any final words from you guys? What's going on next? I mean, what's the next step in your guys' plan?
So we're actually going to be more focused on our business, general contracting.
Yeah, we're starting a general contracting business. I mean, a few people have reached out saying, the 30-day flip, incredible. And so yeah, we're starting this business. I'm getting my general contractor's license. We're all set up, ready to go, just awaiting the license. So going to be focusing on that, but
definitely flips in the future. Just
waiting for something to come across our table and ready to jump on another flip, like the townhouse flips, quick and easy. Know what to expect, but lots of plans in the new year.
Amazing. And I mean, it's hard to find a general contractor that has investing experience. So you're going to be able to be someone else's eyes, or you'll be able to ask questions that maybe they're not asking as well. So you're not just a general contractor that can do the work, but you can also, you can also provide some positive insight of where to get your materials, certain things to do that might be able to help with a higher sale price, and just providing your guys' experience. So, I mean, you're definitely more than a general contractor. Excited to see what's in store for both you guys. And thanks so much for spending some time with me this evening and sharing some of the wealth of knowledge you guys have created for yourselves.
Thank you, Calvin.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a good evening.
You as well.